Today's the 9th of November 2008. This is the Orienburgerstrasse in Berlin, and in front of me is the synagogue, which 70 years ago today was burnt in Kristallnacht, and today I see the police have blocked the road off and put a lorry in front of it. I'm expecting there to be some kind of a ceremony for this. Now the synagogue isn't directly in front. It was built in a very Eastern fashion sometime in the 19th century, which obviously wouldn't have pleased the more radical loony nationalists, and certainly stood out as an element of something which could have been seen to be anti-German, despite the fact this was in fact a liberal synagogue by the standard of the time. The pogrom was 7 years ago today. It was caused essentially by a rather stupid thing. In fact, it was there's a number of things that led up to it, of which the two incidents. The first was that the Polish government in October 1938 decided it was not going to allow Jewish people to return to Poland. Not just Jews. I mean, I think the law was not affected anybody. Many people had come from not only Poland, but in fact Russia. In fact, many had been living in Germany all their lives, and they didn't really think there were any threat whatsoever. One of them was the family of Greenspan. Greenspan was absolutely German, but his parents were to be deported. He was then studying in Paris. He was 17 years old. His parents got deported. They were stuck in some wasteland near Zbąszyce in Poland, in between the borders of Germany and Poland. I think it was just inside the Polish border, but the Polish authorities wouldn't let these Germans go any further. And the German authorities, Nazi authorities I should say, didn't want these Poles in their country. As a result of this, people lived in terrible conditions in this camp. Now this was 5.5 years after the first boycotts had taken place by the Nazis of Jewish-owned shops and other things. First boycott taking place on Saturday the 1st of April 1933, which was in fact a total failure as far as the Nazis were concerned. Greenspan shot von Rath, who was he worked in the German embassy in Paris. Von Rath wasn't a particularly Nazi, as it turned out. He died after about 3 days, and Goebbels then used this as an excuse to launch the pogrom. Now Goebbels was in a bit of hot water with Hitler already. Goebbels had problems with his wife. He was servicing women left, right and centre, apparently, although others have suggested that Goebbels wasn't really capable of much. Anyway, whatever the case may be, Magda Goebbels didn't like it much, but Hitler needed the Goebbels with their idyllic, iron, blonde, blue-eyed children to be an image of the Third Reich. Now, the Goebbels children themselves don't particularly look as though Joseph was the father of them. That apart, the Goebbels was well out of touch then with Hitler. Hitler was really cheesed off with Goebbels was going on. Goebbels, it would seem, to sort of to please Hitler, organised this. He organised this by way of attacks on Jewish property throughout Germany. Now, on the 9th of November 1923, Hitler attempted a putsch in Munich, and so this was the 15th anniversary of that attempted putsch, which ended in failure, and for the Nazi bigwigs all down in Munich doing whatever they were doing. Goebbels there had been a certain amount of sentiment which probably had occurred in certain towns to attack Jewish property, which had been organised on a local basis. Goebbels then used it to organise attacks throughout Germany. And even, I mean, when one thinks like centres of European civilization, such as here Berlin, such as Munich, such as Bayreuth, and they're having their synagogues attacked and destroyed by mobs of thugs, and the police effectively did nothing to stop them. Here, a policeman did stop the destruction. But the burning synagogue here on Orienburgerstrasse has become the symbol of the putsch, of the pogrom in Germany. The synagogue here, in fact, it did survive the flames of that night, largely thanks to a police captain who put a stop to it. The building was destroyed largely by British bombing raids in the autumn of 1943, and that was large part was pulled down by the East German authorities. Since the unification of Berlin and Germany, a great deal has been done to protect this magnificent building. Now I'm going to find out if there's going to be something happening here tonight.